afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If any one of you, please be seated. If any one of you have a question, you can post the question by going into Pigeonhole Live at www.pigeonhole.at and submit a question to us, and if the question will be easy, we may even answer them. I have the great pleasure of having Mr. Lei from, did I pronounce the name right or so?
Yes.
That's good. From Guangzhou, from the city of Guangzhou with us, and we would like to exchange some views how innovation is being promoted and done in other places in Asia. So, Mr. Lei, I'm sure that everybody here is familiar with Guangzhou, but can you tell us a little bit about the city?
Okay. It's my pleasure to be here, and in the morning I was quite encouraged by the Minister of Foreign Affairs Office, Singapore. He is also the Minister in charge of the Smart Nation initiative, who is also to promote innovations. I'm in the same Foreign Affairs Office to do the same thing, to promote the innovations. So to answer Mr. Vardi's question about who is Guangzhou? Guangzhou is a city in South China, close to Hong Kong and Macau, which is called the gateway in the South China, with a population of 19 million people. Please don't compare the population in numbers. So we just like to introduce the city, a beautiful city in southern China, and welcome you all to visit Guangzhou.
Yes, 19 million people, which is, you know, for people from Singapore or from Israel, this sounds more like country than a city, but we understand that in China the dimensions are a little bit different than what we are used to. I want to tell you a little story. I was invited to visit Guangzhou like 2 or 3 months ago, and what convinced me to go there is that my host, Mr. Ren, took a panoramic picture, which was like 1.5 meters, and showed me the skyline of Guangzhou, and it's really, really amazing view. And when you go to the city and see what was built there in the last 15 years,
there is no difference between the cities, like the mega cities, Guangzhou and Vancouver or New York. Now we are we solve the problems, and we like to take the advantages through the innovations to promote the city, to promote the life of the people in the city, including the technologies, including the city management. So the Guangzhou city created an award, international award for urban innovation, which is a platform for all the cities in the world to share the experience, to promote innovation. It is co-organized with United Cities and local government, which is a world organization based in Barcelona. And another co-organizer is the Metropolis, the World Association of the Metropolis, which is also based in Barcelona. City of Guangzhou and the above mentioned 2 parties co-organized this award. So through this platform, we like all the cities to share their experience in the innovation for the city management, infrastructure, citizen involvement, and public service, even the private sectors. we are collecting the initiative to all the cities throughout the world now. This award began in 2012, and it is held biannually. This year we'll hold the third cycle of this award. And each cycle, we have collected 2,050 initiatives from all over the world. And each cycle, we collect the submissions from more than 150 cities. So we like participants to help to link what you are doing with your initiative to do the submission to this award, and help us to have this opportunity for the sharing of the experience of innovations for the city management. I was impressed by the exhibition outside this hall in the technical bazaar. There's a lot of initiative related to the city administration. So I think this kind of initiative can submit to this award. And I have my colleagues on the floor. They will help hand out our brochures of the Guangzhou Award. And we're looking forward to help to link up the initiative of urban innovation and help them to sharing their experiences.
So Guangzhou is an important member of these two forums, which are actually moving the focus into the city level, trying to bring innovation into the cities. How many cities are participating in these two forums?
Each cycle, we have 150 cities from around more than 50 countries participated.
These are in the world, but in the United Cities and in the metropolis, how many cities are participating?
United Cities and local government have more than 1,000 members of cities and local government associations. And the metropolis has more than 100 cities, which is with a population over 1 million.
More than 100 cities with population of 1 million.
Yes.
How many of them in China alone?
Now we have around 20 cities are members of these organizations.
And the idea is to move innovation, or the idea of the government of Guangzhou, or the focus, is to move innovation into the city level and to try to help to introduce innovation into the city. So one of the things that the Guangzhou government is doing is promoting this global award. What other steps the city is taking in order to introduce innovation? I understand you have an innovation department.
Yes, there is a department under the city administration of innovation and technology. Besides that, like we foreign affairs people also promote innovation, like the Singapore foreign affairs people. I think it's the responsibility of all the city administrations to do that. And in the private sector, for example, the Cisco will establish an innovation center in Guangzhou, which is quite an update information, which is announced last month. It will bring in its partners, Cisco's partners, to be located in Guangzhou. And you may know Guangzhou is home for WeChat. According to the Global Web Data Index in 2014, 20% of the smartphone users in Singapore used WeChat. The government do the things to build up the ecosystem of innovation together with the private sector. We do the things hand in hand together to promote innovation. So we hope participants here from the private sector or as well as the public sector can do the things like we did in Guangzhou to help promote innovation related to the city administration. I'd like to mention why the government do the things to do this. A winning project of the international award will honor a city. I think any city, policymakers will be happy. The mayor will be happy. We hold a conference for each cycle in Guangzhou. We attract around 60 people from around the world. Most of them are mayors and policymakers to attend the conference. Why? Because they're happy to, together with their initiative from their city, to be awarded or rewarded in Guangzhou by the Guangzhou International Award for Urban Innovation. This award will have 5 winners every cycle. Although the cash prize is not so big, but the significance is big. The cash prize is around 20,000 US dollars for one initiative. But each circle we have 5 winners.
Can you share with us, can you illustrate to us what kind of projects won in the first 4 years that you are doing this, you are giving this award?
Like Smart City Bristol, Visionable Vancouver, and the Kocaeli, a small city in Turkey, which initiative is related to the education to prepare for the earthquake.
So actually you are happy with projects in the whole areas which relate to city lives?
Yes, related to city life, public service, citizen involvement, infrastructure.
Which of the famous Chinese technology companies that we are familiar with is located in Guangzhou? I think Alibaba has a big facility, right?
Yes, Guangzhou is going to build a cluster of internet companies in Guangzhou. I think some of you may know about the Guangzhou Fair, which is called the Chinese Commodity Import and Export Commodity Fairs, which held twice a year in Guangzhou. Shortly, we know it as Canton Fair. So I like to mention one article which released recently in the Journal of Nature on the 11th May. The title is Spotlight on Guangzhou, Trade Hub to Innovation Hotbed.
I visited a center that you created for life sciences, biotechnology industries, medical things, and you are focusing on this industry. Are you focusing on any specific other industry? The hub that you are now building is to host internet companies.
Yes, we are doing the healthcare system through the internet. We are doing some social systems through the internet technologies. Now under Guangzhou, we have 119 incubators with a space area of 6.5 million square meters. So far, we have 6,000 startups in these incubators.
That's quite substantial. It's like all the numbers of startups we have in the state of Israel.
Really?
Not bad for one
Please
city.
don't compare that in numbers. I mean, the ratio in Israel is quite higher than that in China. That's what we are going to put lots of efforts to do that.
Tell me, please, our time unfortunately is running. You have any encouragement policies or tools to bring companies to Guangzhou other than giving them the space in the incubator? Any financial facilities or loans or grants or these sort of things?
It's the last section just now. I heard that cloud sourcing or crowdfunding. Actually, now China is not lacking in funding. I mean, in the private sector, the companies has a lot of this kind of money to support the startups. They like to invest in the ventures. So don't worry about the funding. If you come to Guangzhou, lots of private sector companies will help.
Okay, Dan, who is a very bad guy, is signaling to us that we have to finish. But if anybody would like to get more information or to get in touch or to submit his project to be candidate to get the Guangzhou Innovation Award, whom they should approach, how they should go about.
Welcome to Guangzhou. Thank you.
Do you want to give them your email or something?
If your initiative can be chosen by the jury, 2 international air tickets will be rewarded to the presentation for each initiative. So we welcome you all and looking forward to meeting you in Guangzhou.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure this is not the last word we are hearing from Guangzhou, and we really appreciate that you came all the way to tell us about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lei, the Deputy Head of Foreign Relations Department, did I say it right? More or less.
Yes, thank you.
From Guangzhou. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yossi. Thank you very much, Mr. Lei. It's a real pleasure for you to be joining us.